The title of this book is On Using the Scientific Method to Study the Paranormal. The author is Martin K. Ettington, and the narrator is Martin K. Ettington. The first page of this book says the following: On Using the Scientific Method to Study the Paranormal. On using the scientific method to study the paranormal is an analysis of how the unmeasurable can be measured. The basis of science is the ability to test a hypothesis. This can only be done by having instruments which can measure the phenomena in question. If measurements can't be made, then science can't be conducted. After discussing some of his personal history with paranormal experiences, the author proposes some ideas to allow scientific validation of the paranormal, which is normally a very subjective experience. Concepts of reality and how science evolved are discussed. Copyright page. This book is authored by Martin K. Ettington, all rights reserved, United States of America, 2008. First edition, 2000, second edition, 2008, third edition, 2011. Acknowledgements. In the first version of this book, Dr. Joaquin Fuster did very helpful reviews of the material. This version of the book is revision 1 based on feedback from different reviewers. I would particularly like to thank my cousin Debbie Ettington and a distant relative, Hal Atkins, for their useful feedback, which has allowed me to improve this work immensely. Dedication. This book is dedicated to my friend Dr. Sam Lentine, who was my philosophical and meditation mentor on many concepts about the psychic, non-psychic realm. Sam died in 1991, and although he was a pioneer researcher in the physics of mental phenomena and psychotronics, which deals with the practical understanding of psychic energies, he never lived to see wide acceptance of what he believed. I hope this book will contribute to the acceptance of ideas I know he would agree are important to the world. Introduction. A wise man once said that every person's life has enough interesting in it to fill at least one book. This book is an outgrowth of my life experiences, and I feel I have a unique and valuable contribution to make to humanity's views of reality and how science and religion can better work together. In the book Proverbs 1, verse 10 of the Bible, it says that nothing under the sun is new, neither is any man able to say, Behold, this is new, for it hath already gone before in the ages that were before us. However, if the Second Millennium taught us anything, it's that man has only touched the beginning of unraveling the mysteries and complexities of our universe. I really believe that today humanity has advanced to one of those thresholds where a new paradigm is needed to allow for radical new breakthroughs in the sciences and in people's understandings of themselves and how they fit into reality. This book is intended to help open people's minds to new concepts about reality and new approaches to understanding reality. This book is organized into 5 main sections. Chapters 1 to 2. In the first section of the book, I cover some of my concerns from my point of view about how science and spirituality coexist today. I also summarize some of my conclusions so the reader can see the views I have today as a starting point for the journey of how I got there. Chapter 3. The second section of chapters covers many of my life experiences because a reader can't really see how I came to my radical ideas on reality and the scientific method if they don't understand my life's experiences. I had many psychic experiences in my life, but I was also fortunate to go to excellent schools and get an excellent engineering education. These two types of knowledge would seem to be contradictory, and yet this contradiction has given me one of the main driving forces of my life. Chapter 4. The scientific method is reviewed historically and some of its imperfections are pointed out. The differences between objectivity and subjectivity are also reviewed. Chapter 5. I discuss how my personal philosophy evolved as a result of my experiences and how my experiences fit into the modern definitions of sanity. Chapter 6. I propose some new ideas for how people should rebuild their views of reality, propose modifications of the existing scientific method, and some ideas for the future. Chapters 7 and 8. These sections discuss some of the ideas on what the future can hold and scientific advances our future may have by using these new reality paradigms. Even though this book discusses a lot of psychic experiences, it is not intended to be a book on that subject. There are thousands of books which cover paranormal phenomena in depth. This book uses psychic experiences to illustrate the evolution in my belief system and to illustrate self-limiting views of reality. It is also important to mention that I've never used and do not support the use of drugs to achieve experiences in higher states of consciousness. I've always thought that a person has much more control of their abilities without drugs than with them. I've never used any drug beyond occasional alcohol.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?